Hello, creative ones. This is Robin Dudley Howes, the Artsy Bohemian, coming to you from my studio in Los Angeles, California. Today I'm really excited because you're going to be seeing me finish hopefully two, of the faux front envelopes. I had people comment saying they wanted to see this one finished. So I started playing around with it because I've never really liked the layout, and so I already did some stuff just because I didn't want this video to be too long. But I basically covered. This was not covered first of all. So let me just refresh your memory. This is what it looks like. This is the one that I've had some people want to see finished. So the outside still looks the same, but this was never lined, so I lined it with some really pretty damask type paper. And a lot of the paper I'm using is from this paper pad, which I absolutely love. These colors are so pretty and muted and antique looking, and I just love it. It's Theodosia Square from Hobby Lobby. I don't know if they have it anymore, but it's not that old. I think I bought it last year. So I'll be using quite a bit of these papers because they just seem to tone things down if things are getting a little bit too bright, and they make things look antique. So I put some cover, a backing on that, flip, and the same here underneath, same paper company, Theodosia Square. So those are the two new things, and then I added lace right here. It's still drying, so I don't want to mess it up. But instead of putting washi tape, because there was a space there, I didn't like the way that looked. So I just put some really lightweight lace, which happens to be some of my favorite lace right now. And it's probably like from the 70s. It's nothing, special, but I just like how lightweight it is. And I also added it to here. Some lace on this because I didn't really like the way that looked either, and I added some more of this same paper inside. So this is a little booklet that goes inside the pocket. So I just thought I would show you that. I'm probably pretty much finished with this one, and I mean I might add some of the lace on the bottom here, but I needed to get going here and just start showing you things and turn the camera on. So, oh, and then on the back here, also the same thing. I put some more paper and lined the envelope here, and this is also still drying, so I'm probably going to have to trim that. And I added this Eiffel Tower. Okay, and then for this one, I thought that I like to make things that are practical. So I'm gonna have to trim that down. I wanted to make this vertical as opposed to horizontal. So it's a faux front envelope, but it's horizontal. I mean vertical instead of horizontal. And the reason why is because I wanted it to fit inside of a junk journal, because I'm one of the design team members for Graphics Fairy, and I want to make sure that whatever I'm working on I can use in a junk journal for the Graphics Fairy. So I kind of configured it so that it would work that way, because if you can see, this would fit inside of, it would be a page inside of a journal, and then this part, the flap, would be and the crease right here would be part of the binding. So my thought was to make this look pretty. I just put some of the Theodosia Square paper on the inside, aligned it, and then I'm going to cover this, and I thought I should show you how I do that. So what I did was I measured this side to side, and as you can see right here, I folded it because it won't fit inside of here very well. And my process doing this is to take, and let me get the pen here, mark, I think I might have to make this a little bit shorter, or not, maybe. I think I'm going to just cut this a little bit so it's not, so it'll fit in there properly. And that's probably crooked, but that's okay. It's going to be covered. Because what I'm doing is I want this to cover here. And so I'm going to slip this in here, draw around these tabs, and then cut it. And then glue it inside. Let's see if that'll fold. Yeah. And let's see, I'm going to pull this up here. You can draw it with anything. This is just what I happen to always have, is this white gel pen. And let's see, I might just fold this down here before I cut it. I may or may not cut it, because this should fit fairly well on here. I hope you see where I'm going now with this. And I had to bend this over a tad because I needed it to fit inside of the envelope, and it's just a little bit, darn, it's a little bit smaller. Actually, maybe I can do this. Might work still. Well, I might just have to like put some extra paper there to kind of match it up. My thought was that I could make kind of a template so that it covered it completely, and if I was a little bit more careful, I might have been able to pull it off. So what I might do is just cut this so that it matches this side, so that there's a little bit of white trim from the envelope. So what I did was I folded it so it slides right in there. And then I'm going to glue this all down. And then I'll just trim this away. I'll probably use my paper trimmer, like probably 1/8 of an inch. But I think you can see that if you measure it correctly, which I didn't measure it exactly, you could make it so that it fit just nice on there. And then you'll have a nice finished looking template to go on top of your envelope, so it doesn't just look like an envelope, like a regular envelope. So who knows, I might add, I don't know, some lace on the side here, because it is going to be going like this. So this will be the back end page. This will be the front end page of the journal page. I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. Might be kind of tricky. Actually, I think what I'll do is I'll just do it on here. That might be easier. Some of you who've been following me know that I have an online school, and I teach all kinds of bohemian style crafts, and it seems to be that my junk journal class, I just launched it in March, and I have the most enrollment in that class of all of the other classes. Granted, I've only had my school for not even a whole year, but I'm thinking my next online class will be another type of a junk journal. So if you have any preferences, just let me know in the comments below what you would like to see. My thought process is I would love to do a junk journal that has a box incorporated into it for, whether you're an artist that, that uses paintbrushes, or, a jewelry maker, or photographer, or a gardener. So it would lend itself well to any kind of creative form. So you could call it, or I want to call it Treasure Box Junk Journal, maybe. But, I'd like to hear your feedback and see if you would be interested in something like that. I have drawings of what I'd like to do, and I think it would be a really fun class. There's something about boxes and opening them up and then finding these treasures in them that's really appealing to me. It's always been appealing to me. Okay, so that's on there, and I haven't glued that down yet. Okay, so this is how it would go. This would be one page, the front-loaded page of a journal, and then this side would open, and I'm going to cover that too. And this would be the binding where I would bind the signature. So this would be considered a signature, even though there's only half of one here. And I was thinking, so this would be cool because you could put stuff in there, so pocket. And I think what was I thinking about doing on this side? I can't remember. I have so many ideas floating around in my head, it'll come to me. So let's go ahead and work on this. So because it's going to be opening up this way, we have a pocket here. We have a pocket here. There's another little pocket here. And it just so happens that this paper pack that I have matches the stuff, these little ephemera pieces that I got at, was it this one? No, at Tuesday Morning. And I thought, oh, that's kind of a coincidence. And I thought, well, maybe they belong to the same company or something like that. And was it? I can't remember which one it is. I think it's this one. Yeah, these colors just happen to match just perfectly. I don't really like things to be matchy-matchy, but they looked kind of cute, and I thought if I mix it with some vintage things, it'll be okay. So this was from, it's called Lost and Found Rosie, My Mind's Eye. You know how it is though with Tuesday Morning. It's either there and then it's gone and then that's it. So I don't know if this is going to be any use to you, but I just thought it was interesting that these colors all matched. And you know, this color palette isn't my go-to, but I think I was able to take this wild print and tone it down, and by adding these vintage elements, which I'll be showing you, it'll really kind of pull it all together. And then these pieces, they're perfect. You know, they're journaling cards so that you can use them to journal on. And then I have this cute little pocket here with this bird. This is from the Graphics Fairy and from their premium site, premium membership site. And then this was a download, this cute little picture of this little girl. And this frame was also from this paper pack. And they just all happen to go really well together. I'm going to distress this a little bit more with this yellow ink that I like using from Stampin' Up. Just gives it more of a vintage look. So I thought it'd be cute to put this under here, or it could be used, you know, if you're going to be making one, you could use it to put a picture of a loved one here. And so this all comes off. This was, again, this is part of this ephemera pack, and that comes off. And then you can leave it loose and glue it down, whatever you want to do. And so I wanted to add some paper to this, and so this is where I'm going to be toning it down a little bit so the colors aren't so bright. I mean, I still like them, but thought this would be pretty. This is part of the Theodosia. Here, sometimes I try to use paper that's already cut. And I put some lace here. I had already showed you that in the last video. And I think I'll use this. So this is nice because it has the same kind of color scheme, but it's a lot more muted. And I'm going to measure this. This is about 4. I'm going to do it a little, about like maybe 4 and 3/8 by 4 1/4. And then I'll just use the corner rounder, the edge, and glue that down. I'm going to be pretty busy. I have a show that I only do twice a year. It's called Glitterfest, and if you're in Southern California, I'd love to see you and meet you. It's in Fullerton, for those of you who know LA, and so I'm going to be pretty busy getting ready for that, and being a part of this design team is another thing that I'll be very busy with. So I've been trying to make do batches of YouTube videos. So I have some fun things coming up for you guys. I am totally into Halloween, and so I think probably by the end of this month, by the end of September on into October, I will be doing Halloween themed type journals and ephemera and altered file folders and stuff like that. So I made that a little bit too big. I'm going to have to trim that. And I made these. I took some vintage wallpaper and just tore it, glued it down. Well, I didn't even actually glue it down. And then I layered it on some very, very old tulle from an old chemise. It's some of my most favorite fiber because it's so tiny and flimsy. I love it. And I put that underneath it. I sewed it, on to the tag, and then I added a little cluster of lace and cheesecloth and some ribbon, and just voila, just happens to look really pretty with these colors. Here's another one that I just put lace on top of, and then this is kind of old lace, but I made it look old by coffee dyeing it, and then I put some more of the Theodosia paper on there. This is just coffee dyed tag that I might do something with, and I was kind of playing around with little snippet clusters to maybe add to something. So this is kind of fun. I might even do something like that. These are amazing. I got a whole bag of these. I can't believe the work that people used to do. It's like super duper tiny crochet or some kind of knotted work, but these are pretty darn cool. I've never really seen many of these like this. So I have a little stash of those that I'm kind of coveting. Okay, so then I made, by the way, if there's anything I ever do in any of my videos that you'd like me to show you to do and I don't show you, if I just feel free to say, oh, I want you to do that technique. Okay, so I had started this little book that I was inspired to do from an article in Somerset Studio, and I wanted to just kind of finish it up with this project because I think it would look cool. Oh, that's what I was going to do. I was going to add it to, it was going to go inside this pocket here. I'm gonna go ahead and just show you how to bind it. It's nothing new. I did have somebody ask me how to bind this really simple journal that I did here. It's like the most easy pamphlet stitch. There's only 2 holes, and that's probably what I'm gonna do on here. Maybe 3 holes, I'm not sure. But it's just 2 holes, and then you take your needle and thread, go from one end to the other, and then tie it off here. You can do it twice if you want to. But that's all I'm going to do for this one. And I had made this little closure thing on here, piece of lace, and I was like, well, how am I going to do that? Because I really like the way that this looks. So what I did was I took the favorite lace of the day, and because it's so thin and flimsy, I just tied it through one of the holes of this lace because it's very open weave. And then I'm going, once I make, figure out how the book is going to be going, I'm going to just glue this down here, and I have the other end tied through the holes on this, and then that'll all tie together. But I thought this would look really pretty here, so that's what I'm going to be gluing down there. And I like the different layers. So, I just kind of wanted to show you what this looks like. It's not bound yet, but I will be showing you how to bind it. These are just very old pieces of ephemera. This is also from this little paperback here. Combining the old with the new. This is very old paper with amazing handwriting on it. This is a very old lasting bag with some vintage ephemera and a ticket. This is just a really small book. It's kind of not very practical, but I did kind of put, I am going to be putting this in here, so there is something a little bit practical in here, but these are old pages too. And I added some really wide lace to this. So it's not a large little journal, it's just a little nothing kind of a journal. This, I opened up the envelope to that side, and then it's just going to go like this. Okay, so I like this old embroidery floss that I have. It's a twisted embroidery floss. It's cotton probably. And what I'm going to do is kind of make sure everything's lined up here. The main thing I want to make sure is that, well, I guess I don't really have to do that because I'm going to glue it down. yeah, I'm probably just going to do 2 holes here. And I think I'll do it underneath this. This doesn't need to be on there just yet. This is just, it's going to go like that, and it'll be glued onto the back once I'm done binding the whole thing. So all I'm going to do is open up the pages, and I'm going to poke a hole through the center, bring it out to the side of the binding. You're going to want to leave a tail of about 6 or 7 inches so that you can tie it on in the center, and then I'm just going to bring it on over here, the other side. I highly recommend that you buy one of these amazing long needles. I just made a boo-boo. They're awesome. It's about a 3 or 4 inch needle, and a lot of times you can get them in the section where they sell needles for dolls, but those ones are actually a little bit too long. And then you're just going to tie it. I do a double square knot, and because this paper's old, I'm not going to pull it too tight, and honestly it's not like it's going to be used that much for anything in particular. And then that's all you do. I might just leave these hanging down and maybe add some little dangles. If not, I'll cut them. So there's the cute little book that I had started a few videos back. I will try to remember to leave a link for that video. And then this, so this is just some corrugated paper that I took, that I used my corrugator, but you can use, if you have corrugated cardstock, you can use that already. And I hand sewed this little strip of lace. I tied some lace to this side, and this is going to go around the back and then towards the front, and then these two are going to tie together. So I think what I'm going to do maybe is I might put this here so that it has something more solid to glue onto, because this is a very old receipt, so plus this will look pretty, so I'm going to go ahead and just hot glue that. So that's the back of the book. This is the front. And I'm going to glue this down here. I hope it's fairly straight. I like the way it's coming out. It looks cute. I'm just going to do a little bit. See, so that is kind of almost like a flap of the book, but it's going to be tied down like this. So I've tied it with my pretty lace, so it looks like this, but we're going to add one more thing, this. So I kind of like it down a little bit like that. And so I'm not going to glue it on there because it'll glue to itself. So I'm going to do this here. If I wanted to, I could sew it, but I'm not. Let's just add one little bit of glue right now because I don't want to add too much right now. That's cute. I like that. Took me a while to figure out what I liked. But I like the way that's coming out. So it's kind of loose, you know. I'm going to glue it down a little bit more, but wanted to show you what it looked like once it's all done. And then this is going to go in the envelope pocket. I'll tie these. Cute. Now this is fairly dry. It goes like that, and this will go in here. Isn't that cute? So that'll be a part of another journal. That'll open up. So this will be one side. Add things in here. Oh, I made this cute little thing here, so I'm not sure how I'm going to add this, but I might add this. Maybe I'll add this to the front. This is one of those cute little books, matchbooks. Why don't I go ahead and just glue that down? So instead of sewing this, I am going to glue the signatures in. It's really super simple. All you do is take a strip of paper. It doesn't matter how big it is. You can make it as wide or big as you want. You fold it in half, but what you want to do is you do want to give yourself a little bit of a binding because you need to make sure that this will slip in here like that. And so I just made 2 creases. Not even a 1/4 of an inch. It's super tiny. And then you can make a flap out of the paper, or you can add a piece like I did here and then just staple it down. You kind of have to make sure that, you know, the paper will fit in there and that the match will fit in. So you just have to play with it. So I'm going to glue all these papers in. These are just pieces that I had left over from tea dyeing or coffee dyed paper. So these are all going to go just fit in. That. And then just glue that inside of there. Go. And I made this little collage here. I thought it would look cute like this. So we'll see. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet because it's going to be going like this, so it actually would sit this way. And this is going to go here. I'm just going to keep it loose for right now and just keep it like that with the paper clip. I don't know, I'm feeling like putting some lace on here. Maybe I'll add some of this. I might even put my little cluster here. Yeah, I think I like that. That's cute. Cute, like that. And this is a little pocket here. It's a little tight, but that might work there. Yeah, it's pretty. Oops, that doesn't go like that. Getting pretty full. It's kind of what happens with the junk journals, right? I do have to cover that up. I don't like that. Yeah, so I think what I'm going to do, I am going to glue that down. And I do like this cluster here, so that kind of, that looks pretty. And why don't I go ahead and cover this first. I mean, I could even add lace to this too, which I probably will. Let's see here. Might add another type of paper besides what I have here, but I'll just keep it simple and add what I have. Because you're not going to be able to see it anyway. It's going to be on one side. I think I'm just going to open another piece of paper up. What else do we have here? Which one I have I not used? Maybe we'll use this. So this is, let's see, needs to be about 2.5 by 7. By 7 1/8. Okay, don't let me forget that. 2.5, 7 1/8. 2.5, 7 1/8. 2. glue that down. I like that. And I better hurry because I don't think I think it's gonna be super long. But at least we finished. Finished 2 cute faux front envelopes. One for a junk journal and one just for who knows what. So that opens like that. Cute. I like all the patterns. They all match somehow. And I love this cute little journal. I love the way this came out. Gonna have to make sure it's glued properly, but I'll do that at a later date. And I'm gonna glue this down. Okay, so we have the lace on here, and I'm just gonna hot glue this little snippet on here. And it's really cute. It's just really all it is lots of little snippets of lace and 2 vintage buttons, mother of pearl buttons. There is a little bit of fabric on there, just because when I do snippet rolls, I usually, I have lots of little snippets, so that's what I use for it. And yeah, I think it's cute. It came out nice. It opens up like this. We'll push this back a little bit. It opens like that, and this opens like this, and then we have this pocket here for things, and another little pocket here with that little matchbox in there. And then this side, because it's going to be a page, will open like that, and this will house this cute little journal. And I might add lace to that too at some point if I feel like it for the journal that I'm going to be using this for. So I hope you enjoyed those. I'm glad that they are finished, and we will be moving on to some more fun projects in the coming months. And thank you everybody for subscribing to my channel and watching my videos, and I'm so excited. I love doing all of this, and I love that you love coming along with me. So I will see you in the next video. And on that note, please check the links below. There will be information on my online school, and if you're not ready to join my online school, then you can at least sign up for the newsletter so that when my next class launches, you will be informed. I always have wonderful bonuses. Several times I've given away a class, so I usually have 1 new class, and then actually I have 2 new classes usually, and I give one of them away as a part of the bonus for signing up early. So anyway, I will see you in the next video. Bye!